Basketball is a sport that incorporates a variety of movement patterns from running, cutting, jumping, landing, change of direction, acceleration, and deceleration. And because of that, it's very important to properly prepare and warm up the body prior to practice or play. Use the Viper to inhibit and release the calves, and it's a great effective way to do such. Place the Viper under the calf and find the most tender area, and once you find that most tender area, hold and place direct pressure on it for about 30 to 60 seconds. Another area that becomes overactive in basketball players are the hamstrings. As a result of poor range of motion, activity, etc., the hamstrings get awfully tight. Using the Viper prior to stretching the hamstring will provide great results in both inhibiting the overactive tissue as well as restoring the hamstring to its optimal length. Most basketball players lack proper hip mobility or range of motion, specifically from an internal rotation perspective, which they need to get down into a defensive position, be able to move very well laterally, and be effective with that. So using the Viper to inhibit the piriformis helps to release the soft tissue, and when followed by static stretching, will greatly improve range of motion. It's very important to stretch the calves to improve mobility and flexibility at the ankle, which helps with proper running and jumping mechanics. Most basketball players, due to the nature of the sport, lack proper range of motion at the ankle, which places a lot of stress on the knees and the back and limits key performance factors such as maximizing their vertical jump. Overactive and short hamstrings can limit recruitment and activity of the glutes, which decrease performance and the ability to accelerate, jump, and land correctly. It's important to stretch them so that they are up their optimal length. The simplest one is to lay on your back, grab your leg behind your knee, and extend your foot to try and straighten your knee as best you can. Don't compromise the position of your hips or the opposite leg, and towards the end of the stretch, if you want to pull your toe down towards your nose to perform toe pumps, you'll get a little bit of an extra stretch. Hold the stretch for at least 20 seconds and you can perform 5 to 7 toe pumps at the end. To improve hip mobility of the hip rotators, it is best to stretch the piriformis. The individual will lay on their back, cross one leg over the other, and then pull their knee up towards their opposite shoulder to increase the extensibility of that tissue. Lengthening the rectus femoris, or one of the hip flexor muscles, will allow for better extensibility in the hip and better engagement or activation of the glutes, which will improve the ability to create power, improve vertical jump, and improve speed. So by stretching the hip flexor in advance of that, the next sequence of events going forward will be to activate certain muscle groups. When you stretch the hip flexor in advance of strengthening the glutes, you're going to get better activation of the glutes to create better strength and power in those muscles. Tube walking increases activation of the glute medius after inhibiting and stretching the previous muscles. Take exercise tubing or bands, place them around your ankles, keep your belly button drawn in to keep your core and your pelvis stable, and you're simply going to walk backwards, taking a step at a 45-degree angle each time. Bring your feet back to shoulder width apart, and then repeating in the opposite direction. As you extend, make sure you're not arching your back, and make sure that you're extending your hip, your glute, and your quad as much as you can. A great way to increase activation of the glutes is with a ball bridge. Better glute activation creates more power for jumping and accelerating when sprinting. It also helps in landing and slowing down during a change of direction. Lift their glutes up to form a tabletop position so there's a straight line between their shoulders, their hips, and their knees. They hold that position for a short period of time and then decelerate and lower their hips slowly towards the ground. Again, a great way to activate the glute maximus. The side lunge to balance exercise trains the body in the frontal plane, which translates into better side-to-side movements for basketball. Start on one leg and transition and hop forward onto their opposite leg, stabilizing and balancing so they're complete control during the movement pattern. Once they've stabilized and balanced, they're going to hop backwards onto the leg from which they started. They can perform this action in a front to back motion, they can do it side to side, and they can do it with a turn or a rotation so that you're utilizing and engaging in all three planes of motion, which are a part of functional activity. Front power step up. This exercise helps take acquired new strength and stability and helps to re-educate the body on how to most efficiently reduce force, stabilize your body, and then create force with maximal power output.